Welcome back, everybody. It's Sunday night. It's summer. It's hotter than hell here in St. Louis, but hey, we're working it out, right? We are working out Dead City, episode 2, called Knock Knock. Guys, this episode, it was great. I was having a lot of fun. Really grabbed my attention, just everything going on during the episode, just kind of learning this city and this landscape that we're about, the zip lines and these weird people just running around. It's just like a whole new world, really. I mean, is it like crazy groundbreaking? No, but it's a lot of fun, I think. And Negan, good lord, I know we had almost too much of him in the past with Walking Dead, but now that I feel like we've kind of disassociated him with so many of our survivors, and now it's just Maggie, I feel like I just have a whole new perspective on him. And tonight we really had a chance to see that, right? So just getting into it, we had a chance to see them following around crazy grandma lady, as I call her, because I never really heard her name. She didn't speak English or whatever. She grabbed Maggie's bag and she's off, and she's moving through these elevator shafts, and things are going, they're trying to follow and keep up, and Maggie's getting annoyed as all hell. And then we end up finding this new group, this little survival colony. They say there are thousands, but we find out they're not thousands. They're just a handful of them. They're just like a little tight-knit little community trying to keep it together as I'm already forgetting their name. It starts with a V. Not the Vaparazzi. I'm thinking like paparazzi, but it was something with a V. I can't remember. Hopefully I'll get it later for you guys or in the future episodes. But anyways, this crew that's working for the Croat, they are following and wiping out these people along the way. And Negan has a chance to shine and pretty much jump in. And I love the scene when he kind of grabbed the dude, because Tommaso, he kept going back and forth like, we can't trust these guys, let's just kill them. And Negan says, I've been sharpening this thing all night or all afternoon long, ready to cut your jugular, but I'm not gonna, because I want to help you. It's really putting things in perspective. I think the writing again for this episode, it's on key. It's working. It's moving the story along at a decent pace. And so, anyways, Tommaso and I think it's Nina, I think that's her name, are trying to get their people moving. And after, unfortunately, and I found out, I just remembered the name of crazy grandma lady. I think her name is Esther. I think I found it out there on the webs. But anyways, unfortunately, she gets stabbed and killed by one of these groups working for the Croat. And so Negan takes this dude downstairs, and as this group is running in, ready to pursue this survivor colony, Negan starts doing his little old style, like knock jokes and stuff, and he starts pushing his head through windows and so forth. And after he does his knock joke, he talks about how it's going to rain or some shit, and anyways, cuts the dude's throat, just pouring a bloodbath down on these people. And you know what? It finally all started clicking, and just putting things together from his past, and how Negan, and he made a comment today to Maggie. She said something about how it takes a monster to build a monster when she was talking about the Croat, and he's like, no. He goes, I was a monster when I had to protect my people so that people wouldn't screw with us. And see, again, looking back on it, I know some of us kind of sided with Negan, I think, in some ways. I never really did. I was always pro Rick and our Survivor crew, but I don't know, kind of looking back, it kind of makes sense. He did take it too far. I think he took it too far. I think he almost at one point was just as bad as the Croat. It could be argued. But, he's had his chance for a time of reckoning and intervention and trying to make things right. But, just for a moment there, man, it was just a vision of that. And Maggie totally saw that, right? She was staring at him. I'm sure she would immediately get in those flashbacks of the time when he took out Abraham and Glenn, and I think Negan knew he'd almost maybe gone a little far there. But that's that shock and awe factor where people won't screw with you. They're like, oh, we're not messing with this dude. So hey, it is what it is. Honestly, I was on Negan's side tonight. I thought he was doing the right thing. In this situation. Now, true, we don't even really know this survival colony, but we know that these so-called bad guys are working for the Croat, and that should say enough in itself. Pearly, the ranger guy, okay, so he wakes up still in that clothing, it was a clothing shop, but it was like a shirt shop and whatever, and a cleaning facility. And we saw his buddy go by, so we already knew he was dead, but he still had his gun on him, and then his gun was surrounded by walkers, so he pretty much had nothing. But he kept referring back to that New York letter, okay? So we finally got some insight on that. He went back to this apartment or whatever, and it looks like, best guess, I think a brother. More than likely a brother, maybe estranged, maybe he hadn't talked to him in a long time, maybe a letter he wanted to write to him but never did. And as he was looking for his brother's gun, he knew exactly where he kept it, and it was missing. And then he looks in the mirror and sees it in the background, and then his brother's dead. And so, again, we don't know really a whole lot about Pearly right now. I want to make sure I get his name right. Yeah, it just sounds kind of weird, but yeah, Pearly is his name. But we want to know more about him. He got himself snagged into a trap, one of the Croats' traps. Okay, and he was suspended up, and the zombies were doing whatever. I thought it was kind of cool, those helmets, those like biker helmets or whatever that his people had, that have all the like blades and so forth sticking at them, so they can just headbutt zombies. Interesting premise. I mean, it's another way to have a weapon, and it won't ever come off unless somebody snatches that off of your head. So kind of cool. But other than that, there wasn't a ton of other stuff that really happened tonight. But obviously, we want to know more about this little survival colony, what they're all about. Why are the Croat after them? Why are they in this war? What's going on? Maggie finally decides to open up at the very end, and she lets them know, I'm here because of the Croat, because he has my son, and I want to save him. They say that, listen, we can't give you guys supplies, but we can get you to the Croat if you don't mind dying in the process. And then we saw some, flash forwards at the end of the episode showing, all these zombies, protecting maybe the entrance of where the Croat hangs out. But a lot of questions there. How does the Croat get out? Because clearly he's been out of his facility several times so far in the 2 episodes we've seen. So how are they getting out? If there's a way out, there's a way in. So really looking forward to seeing that. But other than that, Jenny, let's just hit on that real quick. She decides, the quiet life is not for her, and she wants to catch back up with Negan. So she straight up bolted out of not bolted, but did a little trick maneuver. And, they show her getting on, I think what it was, a motorized bike. And I was just like, how are you going to start that up and get out in time before they catch you or try to pursue you? But anyways, it happened. And so one of the next scenes, it shows her on the shoreline outside of Manhattan. I guess she's going to get ready to try and cross. Probably not a good idea. And it's going to obviously complicate things a lot more for Negan. What's going to happen with Maggie? Is she ever going to get to trust Negan? I mean, especially after seeing what she just saw tonight. I bet she's starting to wonder. But I wonder if she's also wondering to herself, now that she's being the one protected, right, by Negan, he's doing the nasty stuff, so she doesn't have to. Does she see this? Does she maybe recognize this? And it's like, okay, maybe, it's going to, like I said, a lot of things are going to start turning for Maggie one way or another. Could go worse, could go good. But I'll be really curious to see where that goes. So let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. If you think I'm on par here, if you're enjoying it so far, I think it's great. And I think the writing is solid. They're tying back to things that we know from TWD. They're not screwing with us, and we're having a good time doing it. So I'm Mike with the Z-Man Show. Make sure to check out my channel with all the other fun stuff on there. And other than that, I will catch you guys at the next review. See you guys.